Hello. You've very likely never heard of me before. I am Lemon in the Art, or just Lemon. I'm a 25-year-old artist who mostly lurks around Tumblr, making TMNT content, showing up here and there for an animatic or two. I wish an animatic was all I had for you today. Instead, I have the displeasure of introducing you to the worst man I have ever met in my entire life. Here is a rundown if you're short on time, and to be clear, I am giving this information for safety. Do not attack or harass him. I do not condone interacting with this man in any way, shape, or form. Please take this information so that you can block him and leave him alone. His name is JDW or Joshua, and you can find the links to all of his social medias that I'm aware of in the description so that way you can go and block him. He is a serial predator, and my friend Uki and I are not his first victims. I have evidence of his problematic and predatory behavior spanning back over at least the past 6 years from what I can gather from his YouTube channel. He is currently the most active in the My Little Pony fandom, but is also big into TMNT, SCP, CREEPYPASTA, Friday the 13th, Speculative Evolution, Sonic, Five Nights at Freddy's, and the HELLUVA. I repeat, do not harass him. Just block him everywhere you can and ignore him. Now, on with the full breakdown of everything that I know of. And Uki and I already recorded a video together getting into the story. It's over 4 hours long, and it is killing my computer to edit it. So this video will be a general overview of everything that he has done, along with the voice messages, public videos that he uploaded to YouTube himself, as well as posts that he has made that I have found pertaining to his predatory and problematic behavior, as well as just everything else I could find. Fair warning, this is not at all a complete list. I'm sure that there is more that I have missed, and it is not in chronological order. Trigger warnings for mentions of abuse, animal abuse, graphic sexual content, sexual harassment, essay, incest, bestiality, misogyny, grooming, taking advantage of others, theft, breaking and entering, stalking, and more. If you are not in a state of mind to witness or hear about these topics, please do not watch this video any farther than this point. I beg you to block him and share this video with anyone you know who engages in any of these fandom spaces so that they can be aware and protect themselves from this predator. I'm going to give around 10 seconds for you to click away from the video. We'll begin with the IRL and significant events. He admitted to being arrested on multiple occasions for breaking and entering, and said he has slashed tires to make himself look cooler to his ex-friend Kat.
Okay, so speaking of me wanting to urban explore and do stupid shit, let me tell you, back when I was 16, I had started talking to... Oh boy. I think I told you about this. At least I told you part about this. I think randomly in a conversation with, excuse me, by the way, I had burped. I think randomly in a conversation with Oki a little while ago, I mentioned how I stabbed tires for fun when I was a teenager. Something to do about, something to thrill, you know? It's a thrill thing. But of course I grew out of it, thank goodness. But, not help, and I like to go into empty, abandoned, or houses that were under construction. I encouraged it, and eventually I got caught and arrested, which was bad. Damn it. And then years later, she got on to me for the behavior.
He admitted to stalking 2 teenagers with the intent to kill them because they were blowing up toads with firecrackers. Said he only did not attack them because he got scared.
So, we know crazy, and her second life is definitely bullshit. At least 99% chance of it being bullshit. I'll never be 100% sure. And you believe in Mothman and the supernatural like that, so you can't get on to me for thinking there's a chance her second life could be real. So I do believe in, the supernatural. I believe there's a chance the supernatural could be real, which is why I believe second life to begin with. But I'm not focusing on the supernatural side of her second life. I'm talking about, she said she was a serial killer who has thousands of victims under her belt. That 16-year-old me was stupid. I should have left when she said she was a killer, but I thought, oh, she's a killer, but she won't kill me. She loves me. Or, it's so stupid. But here's, I grew up on horror movies and creepypastas, and I did have the idea to kill people, but just, bad people. Kind of what I got, that's where I got the inspiration for Tom. It's like, and the Five Nights at Freddy's animatronics, well, they say they only kill bad people, but they just see all adults as bad because of their experience. So it's not, but they think they're doing good. So the point is, I thought about killing, but only killing pieces of shit. I thought about being Luigi before Luigi, and wanted me to become a killer. And she tried to push me, but I never did it. I almost thought about killing my stepdad and mom, and she was like, do it, come on, do it. And I'm like, no, I can't. And one time out in the woods, I'll have to look at that picture in a second, but one time when I was walking in the woods in the park, I seen two douchebag teens. I think they were teens, or maybe they were young adults, I can't remember. But I seen these two douchebags blowing up frogs with firecrackers. And I was like, oh, those sons of bitches. So I was like, those are gonna be my first targets. They're gonna be my first victims, those bastards. Of course it didn't happen, because they were bigger than me. I got scared. They noticed I was following them, and they turned around like, what the fuck you want? I was like, nothing. And then she got on to me, I think partially because I failed to do my successful first kill, but also she got on to me because of the reason why I targeted them. Because at this point, she started to lean against liking animals and thought they don't deserve protection and rights. But damn it, I love animals.
Now, to be clear, I do not condone those children blowing up toads with firecrackers, but stalking them with intent to kill them is not an appropriate reaction to that in the slightest. He screams at his mother constantly, who let him live in her house for 9+ months unemployed and fed him and took care of him, and calls her a bitch regularly.
Right. What do you want? Hey, stop! Please! You're always trying to fight me! My God. I'm getting out, okay? God damn it. Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'll stop saying the B word. What? I'm getting out. God damn it. Why are you always mean? You're always mean. I know. You're mean when you're usually mean when either A, you haven't had cigarettes in a minute and you're fuming, or sometimes just randomly in the middle of the fucking morning. You just wake up mean and I don't know why. You're mean. You can go downstairs. Fine. I'm out now. Okay? I was fighting not to call her a B word. I just called her mean instead. There we go. That's a good first step.
Now, I don't know if you heard it in that VM. I did put what she said overlay. I don't know what it's called. But she from being his friend, I know vaguely the layout of his house. And there is a bathroom upstairs and a bathroom downstairs. The context for that situation is he was in the bath upstairs for 30 minutes to an hour, and she had to use the restroom. And he was telling her to go downstairs, and she said, "I might fall." And that is when he started being like, "Fine, fine, fine." Like, there is, as someone who has disabled family members, who was disabled for a significant amount of time after a car crash where I couldn't physically walk into my own home, I had to stay with my significant other for months. That is such a, like, sickening thing to me. Like, I could not imagine telling my family members that were disabled to try to make them walk down the stairs, because I would rather sit in the bath for exorbitant amounts of time than let them, like, use the restroom. That just sickens me, genuinely. He verbally abused Kat. And let me just make a side note of Kat also is not a good person. She is someone who also, they both were very bad for each other. And the situation that he abused her verbally about, I do not have the VMs of it anymore. But what happened was he was working on the project Hume 3. She made him leave the project for a few years because she was having to financially take care of him, as he was not making enough money at his job and either could not or would not get more hours or attempt to find a better job because he was too busy working on this project. So she made him stop working on it. And so when this person who he was working on the project with left, he crashed out hard because he blamed her for it. Even though, in this situation, she was completely in the right to not be, content with just paying for his life. He also said that when he got to the state that she was living in from his state, she was paying for the motel that he was living in. And he told me in a call that he had not been looking for work for multiple months. I believe he said it was 4 months of, he figured that he would get a job when he got a job, and he said he was looking for a job, but he really wasn't looking that seriously and was more content to just let her foot the bill while he leisurely tried to find a new job. He was booted from a different TMNT server for having multiple offenses, and the final straw being telling a minor to run away from home.
Well, my day started out pretty terrible. Woke up first thing, found that I got in trouble in another server. And I thought it was just gonna be a, hey, blah blah blah, you did this, and I'd be like, sorry, and then, learn my lesson and don't do that again. I thought it was just another warning, basically, but no, apparently not. I'm kicked. And now I feel sad. I made a lot of friends in that server. I felt like I was becoming a part of their culture, their everything. I feel like I was starting to become one of them, and then gone. It's gone now. I'm a little upset now. I don't know if you know this SpongeBob episode. You probably do. You know a lot about SpongeBob because you were forced to watch it so much you were burnt out on it. But you know the episode where Squidward gets kicked from his lodge thanks to SpongeBob and Patrick? That's how I feel right now. That server was just becoming a part of my life. I felt like I was like family with them. And now it's gone. All because I made some dumb mistakes. Great. I had a gut feeling that the thing I said could have led to trouble. But I ignored my gut feeling. I guess that's that risk calculator, that's that high risk taking that we talked about last night. This one kid in the server, his mother, he was talking about how his mom is bipolar and crazy and, kind of abusive, kind of. They said they still love their moms, they're just bipolar as heck. But I saw that as not a good environment for a kid, so I suggested run away, which, yeah, that's not a good suggestion, but I figured anything's better than being with a mom like that. But that was a no-no. Apparently that was the final straw. I had gotten in trouble once before because I didn't understand all the rules. And then I read the rules and tried to follow them, and then made another slip up. Wait, I don't think I made that many slip ups. I was good, I think. I could have swore I only got like was it 2 warnings? No, they said the first one wasn't a warning. They were just letting me know, hey, but then the next time it's going to be a warning. And then do it a few more times, you're out, I think, if I remember correctly. Oh, it is what it is. I'm gone out of there now. Man, they had a culture. Everyone in there had their own little emoji they would react with. I started to understand their little culture, their little community they had in there, and I felt like I was one of them. They had this thing where when they like your art, they say they eat it, and then compare it to a random food, and I started doing that. I was starting to understand their culture. I felt like I was one of them. Only for this to happen. I'm gonna miss that server. Oh my god. It was chaotic. It was fun. Chaotic fun. They're just kicking me because other people in the server, especially the younger kids, don't feel comfortable. And I'm just like, is it just because I'm older, or is it what? What did I do? Because I was the oldest one in the server. They renamed me from Grasshopper 61 to Grandpa Grasshopper because that was the joke. I was the old guy. I played up an old man persona. Dang it. Oh, I remember what the second thing was. Okay, so the first time I didn't know the rules, so I got a little warning. I'm just gonna call it a warning. I got a little warning for that. Then this other person in the server, who apparently is a repeat offender, he's gotten in trouble a few times, randomly talked about how dolphins are the only animals that, you know, have fun times for pleasure instead of just pure survival and reproduction. And I was being scientifical. I wasn't trying to be perverted or dirty. I thought, since he was doing it, so I thought it was okay. And I was just trying to be scientifical, saying that monkeys and apes and a few other animals do it too, so that dolphin fact is like not 100% true. And I worded it very scientifical, and apparently that's a no-go. So they gave me a warning for that, and I understood. And from that point on, I was pretty good. I was straight. I didn't do nothing bad. Yada yada. I followed all the rules. And then you know what happened next? That kid was the kid was in trouble, and I suggested running away like an idiot. That's so stupid of me. And that was the final straw. Oh, I'm so stupid. I got comfortable. That's a problem in my life. I keep getting comfortable and then screwing up because I got too comfortable. That's a recurring problem in my life. Why won't I ever learn this lesson? Why do I keep getting... Damn it. Maybe he's right about me in some regards. Sure, she was mostly just being a bitch, but maybe there was some truth to some of her words. I don't know if I'll ever belong anywhere. Maybe I'm always meant to be a standalone guy, never fitting into anywhere. Maybe that's just my destiny, or fate, whatever you want to believe in.
Because they have a bipolar mother. And then he spent the entire voice message speaking to me like a shonen anime protagonist who was wronged and playing the victim like he didn't just tell a child to run away from home. He does not take accountability for anything. Everything is always his mother's fault, or Kat's fault, or it's some woman's fault. It is always a woman's fault, in his opinion, which is really freaking wild. He genuinely believed, and still to an extent believes, that Kat had a second life where she went into the fictional world where she was the daughter of Satan and, quote, half human, half angel, half demon. Believed that he got this belief that Mona Lisa groomed and abused 2012 Raphael, and that Kat had a sexual relationship with him and they had children. And then he also said that Rise Leo and Rise Donnie hate each other, and that the entire board short bit that Rise Donnie does was specifically to piss him off because he couldn't tell if the black shading on their legs was shading or shorts. He wrote ideas based on Kat's second life, which all centered around evil women abusing poor innocent men, and then Kat's self-insert woman coming in, rescuing them, and then having sex with them and having their babies. And that is where he got many of his ideas for his quote-unquote conjoined universe, and many of his stories, it completely shows that, like, it completely shows that he just hates women. He just hates women, and it's really unfortunate. He genuinely thought about starting an illegal weed business instead of getting a real job, and tried to get his only IRL friend who is black involved, which feels super icky. He threw a fit because his mother wanted him to go to bed at a reasonable time in her house that she pays for, but because he wanted to go to bed at 6 a.m. and didn't care he was disturbing her, he crashed out about it. This specific event was the event that caused Uki and I to completely decide, fuck this guy, fuck this guy, fuck this guy. Because he said in this right here, as you can see the screenshot, he said his mentally ill minor friend was ruining the mood for reaching out to him for help about being suicidal, and then immediately in a VM started talking about the server he stole from Uki, did not care at all about his friend because he wanted to talk about what he wanted to talk about.
Hopefully went to bed and isn't trying to end his life. Fingers crossed, hopefully. He scares me. I don't know how to help him, but that's not here there. That's not why I'm recording this message. But the server is up and going. It's getting a few people in there, and I'm laying down the rules of what to do. I even added in the bot that lets you have those avatars.
Which is just so disgusting. Nobody made you befriend this child. In fact, I specifically went out of my way to be like, hey, you are a 25-year-old man. I am also 25. Like, why are you talking to little 13-year-olds in DMs? That's really weird and creepy. And he was like, oh my gosh, I won't do it again. I won't do it again. And then, like, a month or two later, he shows up with the child whose name I blanked out and was like, hey, so this child is struggling. And I'm like, why are you still talking to children? Why are you still talking to children? Oh, it's there's more, but that is the final part of the IRL and significant events, at least as far as I have written. There will probably be more added to the end of the video as I continue to go through his YouTube channel. Moving on to the not safe for work offenses. After a few weeks of knowing each other, I kind of felt something was off about him, but couldn't quite put my finger on it. But I didn't want to be rude. And on April 13th, 2025, he sent me drawings of chibi Ninja Turtles holding signs with dirty confessions. The next day, on April 14th, he sent me 8 images of TMNT porn. He literally edited them because he's obsessed with their mask colors. He is so obsessed with their mask colors. So he changed their mask colors and changed, like, different things about it. And I wish I could tell you why. I really wish I could, but I don't know why. Then on April 22nd, 2025, he sent me a drawing of where he imagined their genitals were, as well as a porn comic of TMNT 2012 to demonstrate what he thought their genitals looked like. He also admitted on the phone with me that he had porn of the Cutie Mark Crusaders on his phone. I did not know what that was at the time because I am not in the My Little Pony fandom, but Uki knew exactly what that was. So, the elementary schoolers? Disgusting. Straight to jail. He detailed how he would like to write a fan fiction about impregnating Fluttershy from My Little Pony to me, unprompted. He tried to pressure me into dating him when I had repeatedly said I was not interested, and then attempted to move on to Uki, who is a lesbian. He told me of a sex fantasy he had about me in detail, unprompted.
Earlier when I said I've had fantasies, here's one, if you don't mind hearing it. I thought about if we did get together as a couple, I could like not suck on your tits to get milk because I don't got a breastfeeding fetish, but just suck on them to suck on them. And I would lay in your lap and suck on them, and you jerk me off. That's a fantasy I've had.
Over the course of the months I knew him, he talked to me a lot about his ideas to start a polyamorous relationship that was essentially he gets taken in by a polycule of lesbians who all are inexplicably attracted to him as well. And then they do the cooking and the cleaning, and they take care of the kids, and they have his kids and do everything for him so he can focus on working on his projects, even though he doesn't work on anything. He grooms minors into doing it for him, or like tries to trick people into doing it for him for free. So he doesn't do anything. All of his ideas are bad and generic and racist and sexist, and they're horrible. And then he tries to trick other people into making them real. He told me I was an alien racist for not wanting to have sex with aliens. He told me he believes that dolphins can consent and wants to have sex with them. He sent me a screenshot of a conversation he was having with someone in the Not Safe for Work server he's in, and in the conversation they're talking about sex with animals, and he sent it to me like it was the most normal thing and was like, this is the guy in the Discord server I have a crush on, and I want to be the third for him and his wife. And I like read the conversation, I'm like, what is happening here? Why would you hello? He played my voice message about Date Everything, which is a game for adults, aloud to that minor that was having struggles. He was calling with them, and he played my thoughts to this minor and then demonized me to the minor and made me seem unfriendly and mean for not wanting to speak to a minor in DMs.
And then I keep seeing like people talking about Hector, which is like the literal HVAC system, like the air conditioning. Literally, I think I'm gonna finish this page and then I have to doodle Hector for a little bit because he's so fucking cute, and people keep not drawing him right. He has this really, really soft jaw and like double chins, and like his nose is crooked, and people keep drawing him with a straight nose and like a strong jaw with no double chin. It's like, that's not what he looks like. Let him be imperfect, you cowards.
Okay, that's cool. I'm in a call with, but that sounds hilarious. Hang on. You got kind of quiet earlier in the message when you were explaining. What is this date game where you take two objects in your house and make them humans and make them date? Or what is this? Is this like a trend online, or is this like a series or something? Because you said this air conditioning character. So I'm confused because part of the message got quiet earlier. But whatever this is, this sounds funny. This reminds me of Object Show, that thing that, forgot how to say her name, the Furby girl got me into. It sounds like that. It sounds like Object Show, where you just personify objects. Sounds hilarious. I have to look into this. Okay, just texted me what the name of it was. Date Everything. He apparently knows what you're talking about, and he's also a fan. Date everything. He agrees with you about how they don't draw that character right.
And like, let it be said, if somebody reaches out to me about a very specific topic, I will speak to them about that topic, but I have no business being like besties with a minor. Like, speaking about, like, if someone was to reach out to me and be like, hey, I have a question about this, or like very general like questions about things, I'll answer them. But I'm not going to be best friends with a minor. Still about date everything, I was speaking of my of-age friend and myself, our own liking for Hector, and he made an uncalled for sexual comment out of nowhere, because everyone who's chronically online knows the they have two hands meme. And I was joking we were gonna share him like the two hands meme. He has two hands. See? This meme right here? Everybody knows it. It's very common, I fear. And then he said this. Hello? And I just need to talk about that for a second. Because Hector, his whole thing is you cannot push his boundaries. You have to respect him, and eventually he'll show himself to you. He would hate Josh, because all Josh does is push boundaries. All he does is push boundaries. So, no, get away from my husband. My husband would literally immediately hate end you. Get away from him. Anyways, he tried to roleplay pedophilic sex slavery with Uki after she already said she did not want to do any sort of sexual roleplay with him, especially since his characters were in their 30s and hers were teenagers. He told me he wanted to smash Baby, as in the 7-foot-tall murder robot with the soul of a dead child in it. He's obsessed with the fact that the green M&M isn't sexy anymore, and the idea that everything is becoming less sexy, and is really upset about it. He constantly talks about how he wants women to be sexier and dress sexier and be more sexually available. At the same time, I have this VM of him slut-shaming Kat because she didn't want to sleep with him.
Definitely, that is definitely it, because when we moved in together finally, we started banging, or trying to bang, like immediately. And she said ever since she started becoming more Christian, she'd been moving away from that and it hadn't been all that sexual. But then something about being around me brought it out of her. Bullshit, you still had your sex toys and you still had that gigantic dildo. You're still a sex fiend. You're just acting holier than thou, which is something she gets onto me for and gets onto others for acting holier than thou. You are literally acting holier than thou, bitch.
And he blames Christianity constantly for that. Blames Christianity. Apparently, it is all Christianity's fault that women aren't, that we women as are apparently a hive mind. First of all, apparently women are a hive mind, and we would all be extremely promiscuous and super into him if Christianity didn't exist. Not that women are different people, not that there's ace women, there's lesbian women. No, that's not real. Or like, not even any other religions, like Islamic women, like apparently they that's not them having modesty standards. No, it is specifically Christianity that is to blame for why women don't want to sleep with him, and not that he is a horrendous person that most people would not want to touch with a 10-foot pole. He also told me he coerced having sex with him, and then when I confronted him and it was like, coercion is still sexual abuse, he was like, oh, well, I'm not like that bad of a rapist. I'm like, you still coerced her into having sex with you. He admitted that he is into incest and that he believes the TMNT would have sex with alternative versions and or female versions of themselves. He ships 2012 Leo Rai and thinks that people who don't like it because it's incest are liars and they are secretly into it. He also believes lolis aren't pedophilic in nature and that he likes them like that. Like what? Like children? Like children? Because lolis are pedophilic. You like them like children? He talked mad shit about non-binary people because I talked about Lux from Date Everything, and I love them. and then talked about being a third for a not safe for work server owner who I believe I'm not in it. So my knowledge is that they are non-binary and they have a girlfriend and they both identify as lesbians. So once again, him being creepy toward lesbians.
Also, fuck non-binary. Well, I'm guessing by the looks of them, probably, I was going to say born a male, but these guys are just literally household objects. They're not born, they're just existent. So, fuck it. Whatever. A hole's a hole. But I'm not sticking anywhere near that hole. They are not. Like, what if I'm camera shy? What if I don't want to be in a porn? I don't want to be on your OnlyFans, man. Whatever. Speaking of non-binary they thems, the owner of the server I'm in, the not safe for work server, they go by they them, but I'm pretty sure they're a woman, like sex wise, and they still let us call her mommy and queen. So like, you still accept those titles, but you're a they them. I'm confused. And I found out their partner is a she. I don't know if it's a cis she or a trans she, but either way, their partner's a she, and they are a they them. And remember a while ago, I said I had a crush on them, and I was thinking about becoming their third. I wonder if they are both, you know, cis. Like, I know they're a they them, but I mean physical sex, they are a woman. But like, if they are both women, I wonder if they would. Maybe, I don't know if I get a chance or not.
He said, to fix the rape problem, we should have women rape men back. Then asked me if this made him a feminist.
God damn it. Women have needs too. You ain't special. You ain't special, men. I guess I'm talking to all of men as a whole. Men, you ain't special. Women have needs too. You know what they do? They just use their fingers or a sex toy or something phallic in the area that can fit. They don't fucking... You know what? Maybe they should. Give men a taste of their own medicine. Rape them. Oh, wait. No, you can definitely rape a man. It's just a lot of men think you can't rape a man. But it is definitely possible. Men have been raped. But, okay, maybe just raping them won't work because a lot of men, especially the ones that rape women, probably can't be raped because they want sex. That's not going to work. Wait for them to literally not be in the mood and covert them. Like their dog just died and they're sad. Or like a family member just died, they're sad. Or like, okay, that's a bit extreme. That makes the women evil in that case. Wait for like their favorite show or movie series or game series to get canceled, and there's not going to be any more, and they're all sad about it. And then you'd be like, come on, let's bang. It's like, no, I don't feel like it. Come on, quit being a little bitch, man. I need that dick. I'm horny. I have needs. Give them a taste of their own medicine. I was already a feminist, but does this make me more of a feminist now? Probably. Also, peg them. That's what you should do. Peg them. But they don't want that, and unless they do, in which case, well, I guess there's nothing we can do about them. But the ones that don't like pegging, peg them. That's fucking that's extreme. Rape is wrong, doesn't matter who it's getting done to. Two wrongs don't make a right. But seriously, I think at least I'm not saying kill them. I'm just saying peg them. Is that better or worse? I'm gonna go rape a random guy. No, I can't say that. I can't. That wouldn't solve anything.
And finally, for this category, he tried to have sex with Kat in her sleep, claimed she consented, but we only have his side of the story. And then he said that she was too big to get her clothes off, so his quote-unquote boner died, and he was pissed about it. Moving on to using other people. He berated Uki to me behind her back about not getting Mikey right in the iteration he was working on with her, and edited her original work behind her back, showing it to me to try to get me to agree that his edits were better than her original work.
I think that Uki's looks better. Yeah, I think that Uki's looks better. Because that yellow on Leo was very, like, eye-strainy. Also, don't edit my art. I don't know if I've said that before, but do not edit my art. If I make art, do not edit it. I don't like people editing my art.
Yes, ma'am, I won't do that. Don't worry. I think you already told me that in the past, so I wasn't going to. Oh, crap. I don't know if Uki's okay with this. I should have asked. Oh, fuck. I wasn't going to post this anywhere. This was just going to be like a picture I made for myself, and then the only one who would see it was me, and then I guess you, because I asked your opinion. Shit, I should have... I'm still going to go with Uki's design for our iteration, but I'm just making this for myself, like I said. I'm not trying to make this so we can use that instead. Oh, shit, I didn't think of that. Oh, fuck, I'm a bad friend. Well, that's not the reason why I was editing it at all. Her work is great. I just wanted to see what it would look like if it was what I originally had in mind. Because she said she changed his skin tone because it was too neon. So I trusted her word because, she's the artist, not me. And she didn't even have Mikey's reference sheet because due to a mix-up, I forgot to send it. So she didn't get anything right with him. So, I don't know. It wasn't out of... I wasn't making this so we can use that one instead. No, we're still going to go with hers for our iteration, but... Oh, shit. How do I bring this up to her? Do I just never tell her? And this stays between me and you, or... What do I do?
For the record, he did send Mikey's reference sheet, everyone's, but I had to work on nothing. Because if he sent you his reference sheets for his other stuff, then you know how he describes the turtles. How the fuck do I, like, I'm not fluent in English. I don't know what the descriptions he sent me meant. So, like, he did send me colors for Mikey, but I had no idea what the fuck do they meant. So I decided I'm gonna just kind of, look at the species he is and kind of, accordingly make the color palette. The audacity to talk behind my back about my work that I spent 2 weeks on. I spent 2 weeks on that fucking turtles, and the audacity.
And I love Uki to pieces. You cannot convince me ever to betray my beloved Uki. Ever. And it is such a slap in the face to her to come to me behind her back and say that kind of shit when she literally drew that on a call. She spent 2 weeks on this image for him, did it with him on a call so that and told him as she was drawing it exactly why she was changing the colors and what for, and he still did this. It is so disrespectful. While he was coming up with ideas for the iteration Uki was working on with him, he constantly referenced World War II and did not stop, and he never did this to anyone but her. Uki is Polish, and we strongly believe that this is why he kept saying these things to her. And when he talked about making a podcast iteration, he asked her, I don't remember exactly if he asked her or she asked him something about her being made into April, and she was like, I don't know, my accent is really strong. Side note, her accent is absolutely gorgeous. I love her. Anyway, and he was like, oh, it's fine, we'll just make April Polish, and then we'll have Casey be German. He threw massive tantrums whenever someone would try to change anything about his work at all. He did not like that I wanted to not have women be graphically raped and murdered on screen to show how, like, cruel and badass Katana is or something like that. And I suggested anything messed up should probably only be implied. And, like, we shouldn't I'm not gonna draw people getting graphically raped and murdered on screen. And he was, like, up in arms about that, being like, no, we have to show him, like, doing that kind of stuff and, like, dropping grenades down manhole covers and blah 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 blah. I'm like, I hate Katana. I literally hate everything about his OC Katana. I hate that white biker man being called Katana. I hate him running around with Katana because it makes absolutely no sense to me at all. He lives in America. Why does he not have a fucking gun? Why is his finishing move a Katana? Literally, I hate it. I hate it so much. And then when Uki is the only good thing for me that came out of knowing him, because she and I became very close after, like, because of this, because he kept pulling her, me, and himself into three-way calls, and he would get mad at us for agreeing and ganging up on him for having the worst takes imaginable, and he did not like when she and I did not adhere to his schedule for the call, and she and I would talk about what we wanted to talk about instead of only what he wanted to talk about. And she and I constantly agree 99% of, like, all of our, like, stuff we are in agreement with, for real. And he's mad. He's like, 2012 is, like, literally perfect, and she and I are like, no, 2003 is perfect, it's goated, like. And he's like, this is not where I wanted the call to go for tonight, let's get back on schedule. And I'm like, are you kidding me? You sound like a freaking toddler. He stole Uki's roleplay server and invited a bunch of other people into it and made it into the Chaos roleplay server, where he mostly ended up roleplaying with himself pathetically because no one else wanted to participate. He posts the artwork of others publicly without permission, saying they're close buddies and they don't mind me sharing. He also did this to Uki and posted her works in progress in the Chaos server without her knowledge or her permission, and as well as he stole one of her responses from one of their roleplays and posted it publicly in the roleplay server as an example of how you're allowed to roleplay in that server without permission. He wrote the beginning of a story he sent me about 4 pages of a story about an over-sexualized indigenous girl who falls in love with and is saved by a mediocre white man named Vincent after the fan name for the child murderer in FNAF. The whole thing is offensive. He had me listen to it and try to fix it for an entire evening, pushing back against every idea that might make it not Pocahontas and Moana, but with dinosaurs. And then he got an idea for a story about a throuple with a man, a woman, and a robot from an offensive post belittling women into lowering their standards for men if they don't want to be, like, alone for their whole lives. He is extremely picky and judgmental to everyone working on him with projects, aka they're doing all of the real work and he takes half of the credit. Constantly says it's not what he's looking for and that he is settling. He tried to steal my idea for my TMNT iteration of, like, using the 2012 Splinter's daughter Miwa is, like, being raised by the Shredder, except I was like, it's not gonna be Karai, it's gonna be this other girl. And he was like, in this VM that I'll play, he's like, wow, we should use that for this iteration, we can use that for this iteration, or this one, or we can save it, or I guess you can use it for your iteration. Like, what did you think I was gonna do? I'm just sharing it with you. What? Excuse me, you can't just take my idea and, like, run away with it. He's such...
Oh, it says, oh, something I missed or messed up. I think it could be, no, wait, am I reading wrong? Fuck, I'm not a good reader. Oh, something messed up I think could be fun is if I kept the Shredder raises Miwa story from 2012, except Miwa isn't Karai, and he actually treats her bad because she's Yoshi's daughter, and keeps her alive and around because she's the last living... Wait, hang on, did I read that wrong? Crap. Treats her bad because she's Yoshi's daughter, but keeps her alive and around because she's the last living proof Tang Shen was real. That is fucked up. That is a fucked up idea. Like, if you love her that much, sure, the kid is also the kid of your enemy, but it's also the kid of the woman you love. You can't just like, what? That's some mental gymnastics right there. Yeah, that sounds like something Shredder would do. That's fucked up. That was a dark story. We could use that. We could use that for the iteration we're working on, maybe. Maybe, I don't know. I gotta see if we can make it work. If we can make it work, we can maybe do it. If not, we could save this idea for another iteration. Or you could use it in yours if...
Like, you could hear that, right? Like, I don't need permission to use my own idea. I don't need your permission. He believed he for sure is gonna get Eastman and Laird, and then the creator of Sonic, Vivian Madrano, Scott Cawthon, the creator of My Little Pony, and more, to agree to make his conjoined universe official, and they'll tell him what a good and special boy he is, and how creative, and make his stuff officially. He openly admitted to me that the only reason he's coming up with any idea is because he wants to be publicly praised, not because he actually wants to make something to enjoy. And that, I feel like, is what really pisses me off about a lot of what he does. It's because so many of these artists and writers that he gets with, we're doing this for love. Like, we genuinely love creating things. And I would have so much more respect for him if he was actually trying, but he doesn't ever try. He can't draw, so he's like, oh, I can't draw, so I'm not even gonna try to learn. I'm just going to, like, scam minors into doing this for me, or, like, scam, like, artists online into making this for me. And he's like, I can't really write, so Lemon is gonna go over all of my writing. He was telling Uki in a different server, because I was pulling away from the servers, because I genuinely, anytime I would message in the server, if I hadn't responded to him, he'd start blowing up my phone. So I just stopped talking in the servers altogether. And he would, he was talking about his show iteration he was working on with Yui, and side note to that, I don't believe she knew anything that he was talking about the show iteration. Like, he had a whole plotline that he told me about in the show iteration that was going to pertain around April was in a sexual relationship with all 4 of the turtles, and that, like, asked me if I thought that it was a good idea for them to close that weird little relationship and then have her move on to just Casey, or have Casey become a part of it and then just make it a big polyamorous relationship. And I was like, huh? I don't think she knew about that. I genuinely don't. Because, like, I think he just saved all of his batshit insane ideas for me. Unfortunately. So, but I would have so much more respect if he actually tried. He was in that server and he was saying that, like, he was waiting for me to go through and correct all of his writing and, like, fix it for him after everything. And I'm like, are you kidding me? You can't even write anything, you can't read, you can't draw, and you're gonna be yelling at me on the phone about how you're settling and it's not what you wanted, even though I'm drawing this for you for free. And then he runs around claiming that the only reason that Indy made her own iteration is because of his writer's guides personally inspiring her. And I spoke with her. I'm friends with her. Here's what she had to say about that, which is that it is not true. No, it's not true at all. And then he publicly tried to get Shell Sweet to use his writer's guides that nobody likes because he wants to be praised. So he's bothering every, like, well-known TMNT Tumblr user to try to get them to use it. And I spoke with her. I've only had one conversation with her, but she sounds so sweet. And, like, and to Shell Sweet, I am so sorry he dragged your name into this at all. I'm so sorry. But he had no business sending you anything, because all of his ideas are bad, and I'm sorry. And then I also have been tinkering around with making a girl iteration, and when I was planning it out and kind of talking to him about it casually, he kept calling it our girl iteration, and no matter how often I corrected him, he kept being like, our girl iteration. And then in a three-way call between Uki, myself, and him, he had an attitude and complained the entire time. And at the end, he said that he wanted us to draw his girl iteration with Uki's and mine, because we were drawing together on the same canvas our own girl iterations. And he was upset that we didn't make him art too, as if though he didn't ask us, first of all, and second of all, he spends the entire time others make him art complaining that it's not what he wants. He crashed out hard and yelled about Masky and Hoodie from Marble Hornets not being what he thought, because I had to explain it to him, because I have watched Marble Hornets and he never watched Marble Hornets. And then he told me he was going to use their mischaracterizations anyways, and also he was going to use Tiki Toby anyways, despite the creator of Tiki Toby asking people to please no longer use him. Like, that he literally asked them to not use him anymore, and he was like, I don't care, don't make things if you don't want people to get attached to them, I'm gonna use him anyway.
I guess it makes sense that this is a version of them that would make a part of her second life. Because like you said, her whole second life is just edgy 13-year-old fan fiction, and they fit the bill. It's basically, the fandom them is basically, that's what they are. 13-year-olds just take them and twist them into... They're not even really the same characters. Really? Are they? Oh, random. Oh, is that a picture of Masky or Hoodie outside of costume? Oh, fuck. Yeah, this is not... Oh my god. So they're basically... They're not even really the same people, not the same characters. They're them in name only. They got rid of the core character traits, meaning they're not the same characters. Okay, I can make Marble Hornets and the fandom them work simultaneously because the fandom them are imposters. Slender took those identities because you said these are their alter egos. Their real them are outside of costume here. What if Slender took their alter egos, recruited some proxies, and then gave them those alter egos for whatever reason? I have to think of a reason, but I can make this work. I don't need to discard them. And damn it, I will use Toby. I don't care what his creator says. I'm attached to him. I don't want to let him go. I'm sorry, creator, but don't create something if you don't want people to get attached.
And then he took Indy's plot map from Rise of the Parallel, edited it so that it didn't have words on it anymore, and is most certainly using it for who knows what. And then he claimed he made it. He sent it to me and was like, look what I made, even though it's clear he didn't make it. Like, do you think I'm stupid? Do you think I don't know what Indy's stuff looks like? And finally, we have general grievances, which is that he continued to speak to a 13-year-old in DMs about their home life after I pointed out that it is creepy and weird because he's 25 years old. What are you doing? He continued to use the word bitch when referring to women after I explained that he, as a man, should not be constantly referring to women as bitches. Really, like, I don't think that, like, men should just sit and call every woman ever a bitch over and over and over and over and over again. Like, that's just really disrespectful. Like, I'm not that pressed if it's, like, occasional, like, a bitch every now and again. But, like, it's, like, half the words that come out of his mouth. And then he encouraged me to use ChatGPT. I'm not sure where the screenshots are, but I remember the context to that was I was buying camping supplies and I didn't know which ones to buy first, and he told me to ask ChatGPT as if I don't have a fucking functioning brain in my head. He's generally stupid and ignorant and acts as if he's willing to be educated on things, and he does not actually want to be educated on anything. He refuses to be courteous to others and plays the victim when he is called out. He hates religion to an extreme degree and constantly belittles anyone with different views. Here is an example of, from Indy's server, I have blanked out all of the names that are not his, of him getting into a fight with like a good amount of the server, considering that Indy has not shied away from being very public and open that she is a Christian. Many of the people on her server are Christians, and they were literally minding their own damn business talking about the word exalted, and then he started coming in and bashing their religion. He acts like he is the authority of TMNT, despite not reading any of the comics and having the worst takes known to man. He talks endlessly about My Little Pony and a TMNT server when no one else is interested. He believed Medusa was a horsewoman because the Pegasus came from her, even though it clearly states in the actual myth that the Pegasus came from Medusa's blood dripping onto the sand, but he is dumb and can't read, so he thought that she was a horse, even though she's very clearly a Gorgon. And then when I told him that, he asked me if she's asexual because she was raped. He has black and white good and evil thinking with no room for nuance. Here he called DW from Arthur a monster in the server, and then as you can see, Uki is tearing him to pieces, and then as soon as she did that, he came into my DMs looking for me to pity him and assure him he's the best and most specialist person ever. He continues to hold frogs and toads after being told by multiple people on different occasions that it can literally kill them, and just kept doing it anyways. He sent me this horrific human turtle anatomy picture as, no hi, no how are you, just that. He used my ideas that I said in private to make public arguments with my Miwa being a different girl idea, and then he went out of his way to argue in the server that Miwa is a title. Like, hello? It's ridiculous. And then he yelled at me in a call for expressing an opinion that is different than him, and then immediately played the victim when I stood on business and I was like, look, you're gonna talk to me respectfully or you're not gonna talk to me at all. Like, I don't tolerate being yelled at. And he was like, I'm sorry, like, and made it like I'm the mean one after he just freaking yelled at me. And then moving on to, you can see just this whole cacophony of Reddit posts that are I don't think he understands that all of this is very easily public information. And yeah, my favorite one that made me laugh really hard is the not safe for work right there, straight immediately into Donatello should have shoulder straps. Like, what? Hello? And let's see here. Going on to his Reddit was really wild. I had my friend help me because I don't know how to use Reddit. He looked and he went through and he was like, this guy over here has JW and can you look at this? And I found the Rogerverse there because he hates Mutant Mayhem and no one else calls Mutant Mayhem the Rogerverse. Only him. So I looked through and yep, sure enough, it's him. So all of these posts are from him. I don't know why he wanted to find the incest man. And then he also posted his YouTube channel right here, which led me straight to all of this other information about him. Which, as you can see here, he admitted in a different video. I'm not sure which one, but I remember he said he owned 13 turtles and told me when we were still friends that he caught a lot of turtles from the wild, and then you can see in this video that he kept them in like the dirtiest, smallest tank I've seen. Like, I have a lizard and that tank is smaller than the one I have for my one bearded dragon. Like, that's so disgusting to make a bunch of turtles live like that. And you can see here he also is yelling at his mom more because he treats her like shit all of the fucking time.
Sister, okay?
Yeah, well.
You not hungry?
No, thirsty. Give me a pop. You want to say hi to the people who are going to see this?
Hi, people.
You don't give a crap about those people.
We love our turtles.
Ma, that's cringy. Just stop. Just take your pills and go to sleep. Anyway, now that I got everything working properly.
And this woman right here, I feel so bad for this woman. I pray every day for this woman because genuinely I was so scared when we kicked him out of the server that the very first thing he would do is snap and kill her because he constantly threatens her, constantly belittles her. I feel so sorry for this woman. Genuinely. And then here in this video, you can see he admits to wanting to use his money from disability to pay artists. And then watch his eyes. You can see him roll his eyes at the idea of having to pay artists for their work.
Now we got writers. Now we need some animators and some voice actors, blah, 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 you get it. And I'm pretty sure people don't want to just do shit for free nowadays. At least some of these people, I hope, are okay with doing it for free.
Disgusting, disgusting. And then just the rules.
The TMNT New Origin into the TMNT FUC, which stands for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Fans United Community. in this group, we're like everyone who's a member of this group is like family. We treat each other like family, just like the turtles do. And if you have a project in mind, maybe a turtles comic, a turtle story, a turtle design, anything you have in mind, anything you want to do, we'll help you with it. Either by having someone else in the community do something for you, or show you how to do something, or anything like that. That's our community. That's what our community is about. Maybe we'll start a Patreon. Maybe, yeah, I'll go to Patreon. I'll start a Patreon. I gotta get that set up. I'll get a Patreon for our little community. And, well, yeah, that's it. We're just trying to get our shows off the ground, and along the way, we'll help other people get theirs off the ground. And as a favor, as a return favor for helping us get ours off the ground. That's kind of our whole goal here. Now, there is a few rules that you have to follow while you're in our group. First rule is, don't be an a-hole. And don't be an a-hole, don't be mean to people, or else you're getting kicked. You get 3 strikes and then you're out. Gone. Bye-bye. And then whatever project you were working on, whatever incarnation. Yeah, I'm fine.
Are you fine? Okay, later I want you to help me call your sister, okay?
Yeah, I will.
You not hungry?
No. Thirsty. Give me a pop. Anyway, like I was saying. And when you get kicked out, whatever project or thing you were working on, it's ours now. Because clearly, if you're an asshole and you're kind of a dickbag, you're a douchebag.
They're not that cold because I just got put in there while
Thank
ago.
you. Thank you. Close the door. Then clearly, you do not understand the whole Turtles as a franchise, and you do not know how to make a good Turtles incarnation. So the Turtles are the good guys. They're the heroes. Raph may be a little bit of an asshole, but overall, they're still the good guys. They're still nice. So if you're not nice, then what makes you think you can make a show or a comic or something about a bunch of nice characters? Probably just gonna write them and make them jerks or something. You're not gonna do something right. So if you're a jerk and you get kicked out of our group, whatever project you're working on is group property, and we'll hand it over to someone else in the group, whoever wants to take it. And they'll work on it. Continue it. But yeah, that's the first rule. Don't be a jerk or you get kicked out, and whatever you started making is ours now. That's the first rule. The second rule is, in what you make, don't make the Turtles gay. Maybe just maybe, but don't have them get with each other. Don't. If you want to have a gay character in it, go ahead, that's fine. Or a bi character or anything like that, go ahead. But just don't make any of the main characters, Turtles, Splinter, Casey, April, any of them, don't make them gay. Please. Just don't. That's the second rule. Rule number 3. Crap. I forgot what rule number 3 was. Hang on. One second. I had the rules. And the rules are posted in the group. Excuse me. Out the way, doggo. I only need the chair for a second, Ma. No, I need it for something else. You can call. I'll help you call her after you're done eating. Don't let Dubby get your food.
Okay.
Don't let Dubby get your food, Mama. That's bad.
I'm just gonna give it to him because I'm getting full.
Go ahead and do that. I need to read something. Okay, let's see. Scroll down. Ah, okay. That's what it was. Okay, rule number 3. Can't believe I had to look at it. God, I'm an idiot. Rule number 3. Do not steal credit for anyone else's project. Do not say, hey, that's mine, I made it, when you didn't. If you do that, that's a strike. And if it's your 3rd strike, you're out. You're kicked. Bye-bye.
Just the rules. By his own logic here, I guess Uki and I get to keep his ideas. Because, like, literally from his own logic, from his own mouth right there, he says that. Like, legit. He said it. And then the clear homophobia just... The clear homophobia just takes me out of my body. Now, here's where I'm going to play just everything else I have left. That doesn't have like a really specific category or things that I forgot and rediscovered while editing the video. And that'll all be after this point.
Whatever. Next in my life is my check for my, disability. They said, we went to the thing, we answered their questions, and they said we'll get our answer in 2 weeks, whether or not we'll keep getting it. I hope I keep getting it, because if I keep getting it, I can open my own bank account. Actually, I don't need to. I can just take Mom off the one we already have. And then there we go, to be my own. And once I have my own bank account on my own, then I can start a GoFundMe or a Kickstarter to help support our group, our little community. And then we can actually pay some animators. Right now we got writers. Now we need some animators and some voice actors, blah, 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 you get it. And I'm pretty sure people don't want to just do shit for free nowadays. At least some of these people, I hope, are okay with doing it for free. So the first time I got, caught by the cops was when I was breaking into houses. It was going smoothly. I thought I was being, slick with it because I got away with it a few times. But I guess I got sloppy. I would find houses that I knew had no one living in them. I could look for the signs. Slightly run down, unkept yard. It was very obvious signs. And I would go in them, maybe find something cool, maybe not, and then just get out. And one time I almost got caught when a house that wasn't like abandoned, I think it was still under construction, because it looks like there was some work being done. And a guy pulled up and, started to come into the house, and I was like, oh shit. Luckily, I managed to slip him without getting seen, thank God. That was a close call. That should have been my cue to stop, but like an idiot, I just wanted to keep impressing. So one day, I went to the back of a house and tried to get in, and I smashed the window, but it was loud. So I panicked and hid inside the shed they had in the backyard, which probably not the smartest idea. There could have been, spiders in there. Probably was, but luckily I didn't get bit, I don't think. So after hiding for a minute when I thought it was safe, I got out of the shed and just ran. And a few moments later, like when I was I think it was 10-minute walk later, the cop stopped me. I was like, shit. I had the knife that I used to smash the window in my backpack, as well as one of my masks, that I would put on just in case if someone may see my face. I should have had it on when, 'cause I don't know if they seen me or just heard me. No, they had to have seen me, because how else would the cop have been able to pull me over? I should have been wearing my mask. Wait, was I wearing my mask? I don't remember if I was or not. I think I may have been. Either way, the cop pulled me over and found, if I was wearing the mask at the time, he found the mask in my backpack, so it gave me away. So I had 2 movies left, Freddy vs. Jason and the 2009 movie. I was so close. I just had 2 more to watch, and Robert said no. Which I can't get mad at him, but I just came down here and started cursing in the kitchen, which probably led Mom to search alternatives for me to finish the movies like Pluto TV, which caused her to come down here, say the stupid crap that pissed me off, triggered me to yell at her, and then started this whole mess. So, god damn it. But, so, what does it mean when a girl asks you how old you are and then asks if you're working tomorrow? Does that mean she's interested in me or what? So, like I said, I woke up from a nap. I don't know why, I just randomly felt tired and I was like, okay, damn, I need to take a nap. It could be several factors. One, yesterday I woke up earlier than I usually do. I woke up around 10 because I had alarms set. But today I woke up at 12-ish for seemingly no apparent reason. I don't know why. I don't know, I just woke up. Even though I clearly didn't get enough sleep. Because I actually fell asleep and went to bed around 7, so that's one possibility, excuse me. Possibility 2, maybe I just, masturbated too much today. That's energy draining. Let me tell you about another one. Like I said, I'm not gonna tell you all. I told you the one with the Rainbow Dash and Devon. Now I'm gonna tell you about this one, where this time I play the half changeling, half pony hybrid. I named myself JW. Not very creative. I was gonna name myself something different, but the AI, named me that already. I'm like, ah, damn. Well, shit. Now I gotta roll with it. So in this roleplay, I was playing a half pony, half changeling, stalking stalking Twilight, and yeah, it was. The weird thing with this one is that it was kind of like incest, because I was her nephew. Yeah, it was some weird kinky shit.
I feel like an integral part of this as well is also his reaction to being banned from the server. Uki, myself, came forward to Indian moderators in her server and spoke with them and presented everything that I had presented before you today. And he was swiftly removed from the group. And as soon as he was, Uki sent him a message about her feelings on him. And at this point, I had been hiding from him for a while. I hadn't been answering his messages. I had blocked him he had my personal phone number. And so she sent him the message, and he responded with this. And as soon as he responded to her, he reached out to me through my blocked phone number. I don't know how he got in my house. I specifically removed him. And what are you doing in my house? He got past the block somehow and into my house and sent me this message, which I never responded to, obviously, because I don't want to associate with this man in the slightest bit. And he spoke with Uki more, as seen here, continued to refuse to take accountability for literally everything. He was just trying to socialize, guys. How's he supposed to know that you're not supposed to, do any of this? That's not fair. And then this is hearsay. I don't have the receipts for this, but a minor in the server reached out to me and Uki and let us know that she was speaking with him right after the ban, because he went through the entire list of everyone he was quote unquote friends with from the server and went down the list DMing every single person and being like, are we still friends? He even did that. I know for a fact he did that to Indy, because I spoke with her, and she told me that he had reached out and been like, I know we're probably not friends, but are we still friends? And she said that all she could think of was, bro, we were never friends. And that makes complete sense to me, considering every single interaction that she had with him in the server was telling him, no, please stop. You're harassing people. Knock it off. So, anyways, the minor reached out to us and told us that she had messaged him, or he had messaged her, so she was speaking with him about what had happened, and he basically took no accountability for anything, didn't understand why everyone was being so mean to him, and then asked her if she wanted to do a not safe for work roleplay with him. But as I said, I wasn't there. I'm just hearing that from other parties, but yeah, that honestly wouldn't surprise me, especially considering in his messages to Uki, he continues to not take accountability. He doesn't understand that, like, and she outlined it perfectly for him too there, that everything that we don't like about him, and he's like, I'm sorry for being a bad friend. No, being a bad friend is like the tip of the iceberg, bro. Like, it goes all the way down to like bestiality, pedophilia, like all the way down there, and you're sitting there like, I'm sorry, I was a bad friend. Like, he's not sorry. He's not sorry. As far as I can tell, he's not sorry. And I have no doubt in my mind that he will absolutely continue to perpetuate this, like, cycle that he seems to continue every single who knows how long. But from watching his old videos, because I found the videos well after he was already blocked and I'd started making this video. I started making this video like the same day he was blocked, essentially, because I realized that I don't want this to ever happen to anyone else, and I need to warn people, because no, he's not a well-known person. People don't know that he's a predator. And as I was going back and finding all these different accounts that link to other accounts, and it was like a maze, and I found all of this information, and going all the way back 6 years on the YouTube channel of him talking about how he had other people, and he would mention Uki, how he used to work with some people who don't work with him anymore, and that makes me go like, I wonder why. It's very clearly because you are perpetuating the same cycle that you have started. You're just sitting there doing the same things, not apologizing, not taking accountability, blaming women for your own faults and shortcomings, and it just never ends. So if that cycle ends because of me right now exposing all of this information that I have gathered, then I would love that, because I don't want anyone else to get hurt. I don't want him to be able to groom any more minors and ask them for like NSFW role plays. I don't want him to be able to like get free labor out of everyone and talk shit behind their back and hurt artists and make the whole every community he's in, them look like a bunch of weirdos. And it disgusts me, like, the thought of him interacting with like children, that genuinely, this has been keeping me up and weighing heavily on my heart, and that's why I need to get this information to everyone that I can. And on a lighter note, we do have just a few little jokey jokes. Here, you can listen to this and hear him ask me if pigeons have autism.
Also, how come some of them seem to be alright with me petting them and others aren't? Pigeons have autism. That's just... Shut up. Pigeons get autism.
Because the pigeons let him pet them, and so clearly they must be autistic pigeons if they let him pet them. And then here we have American time. I was in the middle of a Costco when he sent this, and I busted out laughing. And I hate being in Costco, by the way. There's too many people, it's too loud, it's too crowded, so I'm eating my little ice cream, absolutely miserable with my boyfriend, because he gives me an ice cream treat to go with him to Costco. And I get the ping on my phone, I open it up, I'm just losing it. And he's like, what did you see? And I'm like, American time. As if America doesn't have like 4 time zones in the lower 48. So yeah. At least there's a little bit of a giggle in this. I'm sure that there is so much more that I'm missing, and I could probably I've already spent weeks, literal weeks, on this project to try to go out of my way to find as much as I can. I was working on that video that was just killing my computer, so this is a far shorter, more concise one, and I genuinely am so disgusted by him. And the whole purpose of me making this video is because if I can save even one person from ever having the displeasure of meeting him, if I have little cousins, I have just the thought of anyone younger than me having to interact with him, being groomed by him, disgusts me to my core. And knowing that, like, if I can spread this information as fast as I can to as many people as I can, it might save someone, that's all I care about. So please, once again, do not harass him, don't interact with him, just block him and move on, and share this video with anyone who might run into him. Please, just avoid him if you can. Thank you.